Okay, we're going to take some notes over cellular levels of organization, plants and animals. Okay, so let's write our title. Cellular, because we're talking about cells and then it's building up from cells. Levels of organization. And so whenever we're talking about levels, when we're talking about levels for this particular topic, okay, usually we talk about it in pyramid form, in a pyramid, because there's a reason for it. The base is bigger and we use that for information, okay? So the further we go down on this pyramid, whatever we're filling into these levels, there's going to be more in number. There's going to be more of them in this world. There's going to be more of them in the room. Okay, and the higher up we go, there's less. Okay, and on the other side, I want to put an arrow upwards. The higher up we go on this pyramid, the more complicated they get, more complex. And then the further down we go, they get more simple. So what goes in this pyramid? Okay, we need 5 levels. Levels. In our first level, where there's more and it's more simple, this is where our cells start. Okay, and if you remember from our definitions, this is the most basic unit. Cells is the most basic unit of structure and function for all living things. That's in our notes from previous. When cells work together, they make tissues. Not the kind you blow your nose with. Okay. Skin tissues, cardiac tissues, brain tissues. When tissues are working together, they make organs. Your heart, lungs, stomach, intestines, kidneys. When organs are working together, they make organ systems. Seems like the higher up we go, the smaller the space to write, but the words get bigger. Okay, and then when all of our organ systems are working together, it's talking about the digestive system, the nervous system, the muscular system, the skeletal system, which we're going to learn all about in a couple of weeks. When all of these systems are working together, we have the organism. Okay, so think about your house, where you're living at right now. Okay, there's maybe 3, 4, 5, 6 organisms. There's maybe 4, 5, 6 of you guys living in the house. But how many cells do you think there are? If each of us have trillions of cells, okay, that's why we say the higher up we go, there's less in number. There's only about 4, 5, or 6 of you guys living at home. And the further down you go, the more in number there are. If each of us have trillions of cells, there's going to be a lot of cells in that house, okay? So let's talk about plants first. I first want to talk about plants and what levels they could be at. So let's move on to a new section of our notes, our paper. Let's draw our levels really quick. Okay, let's go ahead and label them. The top one's organism. These are our levels. And I want to give you some examples of plants. Because most of the time when we talk about levels of organization, we kind of forget about plants. We forget that they're eukaryotic organisms. And so they follow the same levels as we do. Okay? So for a plant, it could just be a simple plant cell. And like we've drawn out a few of those last week and the week before. Okay? When plant cells are working together, and I'm making them kind of angular because most of them are, when they're working together, they make a tissue. When different types of tissues are working together, they can make things like the leaf, the stem of a plant, the little flower bud, where the flower hasn't come out yet, the flower itself. Okay, these are all organs, different organs of a plant. Now, organ systems, it's a little bit different. They only have two. Plants only have two organ systems. Okay? The top part that you see above the ground, this is the shoot system. Okay? And then we have everything that's below ground. Yeah, I bet you can guess what this is called. This is the root system. Most animals like us, humans, cats, dogs, birds, fish, we have multiple organ systems. But for plants, there's just two. The top and the bottom. Shoot system at the top, root system at the bottom. Okay? And then when all systems are working together for the plant, so when both systems are working together, that's when we call it an organism. Okay? So now let's start taking notes over animals. Okay? Start a new paper. Let's draw our pyramid. We have organism at the top. Organ system. Organs. Tissues. Cell. So let's talk about brain cell or nerve cell. Nerve cells, if you guys remember from structure and function notes, the structure of our cells are different because of the jobs that they do. So this is sort of the structure of a nerve cell, and the nucleus is up here somewhere. Okay? And this is because they reach out to each other to send messages. So this is this level right here. When nerve cells are working together, I'm just going to draw a bunch of them. They make a tissue, nerve tissue, or brain tissue. Okay. When these tissues are working together, there's different types of tissues in the brain. When different types of tissues are working together for the same purpose, that makes an organ. So for this, it would be the brain. The brainstem back here. There's our brain. Okay. Now, when there's different organs working together for a purpose, that makes an organ system. So for the organ system, we have the brain. And then we have the spinal column that goes down the middle of your back. And then nerves that go all out throughout your arms and legs and all over your body. And this would be called the nervous system. This is one system out of 9 that we're going to learn in a couple of weeks. And when all of our body systems are working together, the digestive system, nervous system, immune system, all of our systems are working together, that's what makes us. And we're just using us as an example right now, a person. But this can be for fish, dogs, cats, birds, worms. They have nerve cells, nerve tissues, brains, and nervous systems, and they follow the same structure we do. Okay, so this is just to help add to your notes.